Hey everybody, welcome to Overtime. Well, Overtime is raw and uncut, unedited, extra material that didn't fit into the show, and we just want to bring it to our listeners. I'm Big Z as always, and I'm here with my co-host E-Roc. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with some NBA stuff that just happened in the last couple. I think it was yesterday. Let's start off with Giannis. Uh, Going a little soccer reference, Zadine here, and headbutting Mo Wagner.
Mo Wagner from Michigan.
Oh boy, what'd you think of this, man?
Look, it's weird. It's not in his character whatsoever. Giannis is not that type of dude. I mean, you can kind of see where that bubble life is starting to get to some of these guys. You know, you're kind of trapped.
Second to last game too, so
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be frustrating.
mm-hmm.
You think about this. You're arguably the best player in the league for the last 2 years, and everyone's still on LeBron's jock. And the Lakers haven't even played that good in the bubble.
No, they play decent, not great.
And they're still on top of him. So you know what I mean? Like give this guy a break. Let his shorts breathe a little bit.
And he's getting hacked. He's getting hacked.
Oh hell yeah, he's getting hacked.
Oh my god, is he getting hacked? And that's what it was. It was the non calls throughout the game, and it just got to him at the end because he's like, man, this dude is just really, you know.
Yeah, he's on top of me.
Yeah.
Let me be.
And so I get it. When the big guys get frustrated, I mean, they got a boiling point. I remember Shaq was the same way, Alonzo Mourning. All these big guys, they get
Dwight.
Dwight Howard, yeah.
I mean, look, Cam Newton in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These big dudes.
And yeah, they don't call any fouls or throw any flags because they're so big. It doesn't look like it does hurt them or bother them.
And we're sitting here like, let it go. And they're like, no. I don't blame them.
Yeah. You know? So he did apologize after the game. He said it was out of character, like you said. He said, if I were to go and get a time machine, and I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, but I mean, he is European, so he's probably playing soccer rules, bro. That's how it goes, man. You just gotta.
I mean, he didn't flop though. I mean, he gave him that little headbutt.
They're both European.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like, hey.
I mean, the other kid, Mo Wagner, didn't flop. He just literally just went straight and grabbed his eye and like, oh crap.
Because it's a headbutt.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. You can see the actual reaction between actually getting hurt and faking getting hurt. It's like, when it's completely ridiculous. You get to the point where someone walks past you and a strong wind, and you go, oh.
You mean when someone walks by LeBron and he just flops?
And the Matrix? He does the Matrix. They should call him the Matrix. No, Sean Marion, it's
retired.
over.
It's over. It's okay.
Let's call LeBron. No more King. You're the Matrix now. Because every time someone farts within a 5-mile radius, like, stop it, bro. That's enough. Enough of this.
Next thing I want to talk about is Chris Paul and Jimmy Butler. Now, this got a little intense, and this is going to be Duncan Robinson with the Heat playing he was on offense, and Chris Paul's all over him. And I think Chris Paul got a little frustrated, a little bit, and then the ball went out of bounds, and then the next play, Robinson again had the ball, and Chris Paul stole it, but was falling out of bounds, and then bounced it off Robinson.
Where hit him though?
I hit him in the head.
A little bit, yeah,
a little bit. Shoulder,
the head area. So Butler didn't take too kindly to that.
No, so the next possession, Butler goes on. He's like, "Give it to me on the block." And Chris Paul steps up and plays defense on him, and there's about 5-6 inches probably difference. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like there's a good 50 pounds there.
Oh, but yeah, I mean Jimmy's a Mack truck right now.
Yeah.
And he took him on the block, and he lowered his shoulder, went to the hole, and took him down, and he pushed off.
And guess what? Jimmy Butler has always wanted to be the leader of a team.
There you go, bro.
And what are you doing? You're standing up for your boys.
Yeah.
On a team full of guys who no one knows who they are.
No.
Be the man.
And he was the man.
You know what I mean? So look, like I said, they're getting frustrated. They're in the bubble. There's nowhere to go. There's no chicken wings.
Oh man.
Yeah. Unless unless we're going on the Magic City tour bus, there's no chicken wings. You know what I mean? So look, like, who would have ever thought that Disney World would not be the happiest place on earth, right? Like, what have we come to? But that's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. Look, let's see what happens in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Let's see how silly some of these little fouls are going to be in the playoffs. It's going to be different when they're actually
playing. I think it's a little bit tighter.
There's a few teams that were wasting everyone's time in that bowl.
Yeah. I'm glad the Bulls weren't in it because they would have been blown out every single game.
I don't even know. if I agree with that, because at least they would have played, not like the Wizards. The Wizards basically went in there and wasted everybody's time,
And they had a worse record than we did.
and they're gonna end. Well, they're gonna end up with a worse record.
Well,
in
they
the long
started
run.
with a worse record.
Yeah.
And going into the bubble before
Oh,
they
okay.
started, and
Okay.
then now they have a worse
Yeah.
record, so they get a higher pick.
which is ridiculous.
Well,
and they
possibility.
yeah, and and we're still sitting here talking about Jim Boylan. Jim Boylan. So there's a couple of different things that we heard
Yes.
this week.
Yes.
There's a couple of different things we heard. Number one, you know what's going to happen is that the Bulls are going to cry poor.
Yeah.
And that's why. And the thing is that they're barely paying this guy any money. So
It's under $5 million.
He's making like $2 million a year.
That's what I'm saying. It's under $5 million.
Because
These coaches don't make that much anyway.
Because he's a nobody.
Right.
He's an absolute nobody. He's a boob. And half the team has already said, "Yo, if this guy comes back, I don't think I will." And the one other thing we heard too was Adrian Griffin.
All these accusations, yes.
Yes. So Adrian Griffin, who was a front runner, or so we heard, was a front runner for the Bulls job. His ex-wife came out and said there was a lot of domestic abuse that took place while they were married. So
I mean, we don't know all the facts. You don't know.
We don't, but at the same time, his daughter came out and says, "No, I don't believe her. Don't believe her." So it's one of those things. He said, she said, but why is it just coming up now?
Right, and with the NBA, they're all about the optics.
Yeah.
And guess what? He's not going to get another interview for head coaching job right now.
Well, right now.
I mean, even with that hanging over, and whether it's true or not, I don't think he's going to get another interview for head coaching position.
And you're not wrong. NBA is definitely about optics. I mean, they got the Black Lives Matter plastered all over everywhere. Their commercials are BLM. Their jerseys have the vote and equality.
Yeah, they get to pick whatever
say
cause
her
they want,
name.
right?
Well, they got to pick from a certain list.
Yes, approved list, right?
Right. You got a couple players who opted out of that completely, but most of them said something.
I mean, Jimmy tried to do something.
Jimmy went out there with a jersey with nothing on it.
Right.
And they're like,
no,
not
happening, bro.
And he's like, but I'm Jimmy. You know Jimmy. It's me, Jimmy.
I like to be my own person,
right?
Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They need a name. For what reason? I don't know. Look, there's always silly protocols and stuff like that. For in case the casual fan tunes in and is wondering, hey, who's that guy?
You could have put the word blank on there.
Yeah,
maybe that gets through. All right, moving on.
All right. So what other silliness do we have going on?
Well, before we get into the Astros thing, before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit of Joe Kelly?
Oh, your boy.
My boy. That dude is so gold. He is so gold. Literally called out.
Look. If anything, he should be some type of like a face model for like cartoons, for the stuff that he's like. His faces that he's making out there are hilarious. And I mean, this does 100% have to do with the Astros, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now he gets suspended for throwing
at a player that he never hit.
No, he didn't hit anybody, but he definitely threw at him.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, man. He just came out on a different podcast and he did say some things. So he's out there making noise, man. Look, I appreciate him for being what he is. I mean, even if you're not gonna be good, at least be loud. I guess I don't know.
I mean, what did he get suspended for? What did he get? 8 games?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so he got 8 or 9 games. It got reduced to 5. But before they ruled on reducing his games, the Dodgers put him on a 10-day DL. So
yeah. So
what difference did it make?
Right.
I mean, it just made no difference on that point. I mean, he called out and he said some things, pretty much saying, you guys didn't get any suspension as far as the players. The players were doing the cheating. It wasn't the upper management. I mean, whether they knew or not, I don't know. But if the players are the one instituting the cheating, the one wearing the quote-unquote vest,
right,
or using the film, and obviously we knew they were using the drums, the drumming of the garbage cans.
Yeah.
So they're the ones cheating, and they were granted immunity as long as they tricked on each other. So he's like, you guys are a bunch of bees.
Yeah. Like,
where's your integrity?
Not like killer bees. Not
no,
like the real Astros.
No, those are
the killer bees. The biznachis.
The biznachis.
Yeah,
that's
the
right.
biznachis. Yeah.
So I like Joe Kelly for calling them out. I mean, he's telling the truth. He's also taking a shot at baseball, at the commissioner.
Well, first of all, who would have ever thought that there would be a commissioner in Major League Sports in the United States that someone thinks less of than Gary Bettman? Because Rob Manfred is a joke. Who we can we throw this guy back in the sea wherever they got this
all of
flopping fish?
yeah.
That's it, he's like you remember we watch we listen to ESPN. Cap been on there for a long time.
Oh yeah.
What they used to come. They call it flipper.
I can't even do the sound. But that's right, because Cap will say something, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I never said that," and then they pull up the clip, and he's like, "Took it out of context."
Right.
But I mean,
I remember it when he called Quintana elite, and they had the recording.
He did say elite.
He did.
He's never been elite, but he's been a good pitcher. But never.
I'm gonna tell you what. You think about this. In your 60 games in 66 days, did you kind of think that some of the players would forget about the Astros?
Oh no, the players would never forget. No.
In this short season?
No, I think the fans would have forgotten
because they're fighting a lot of people. They're fighting a lot.
You mean the A's?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing with that.
Maybe don't tell your mama jokes.
So you have a couple of issues here. All right, you got the Astros who threw at the Athletics all series, in particular to one player. Now, this player was on the Astros and was traded to the Athletics. Now, the first one where you got hit, you're like, okay, you got hit with a fastball. It was like pretty much middle, kind of center mass.
Yeah.
The second one was a curveball, an off-speed pitch, and it hit him towards the back. And he was upset he got hit again, but he was talking to the pitcher and showing him, hey, when you throw a curveball, make sure you snap down. And then you got the ump and everyone else trying to calm him down. He's like, no, man, I'm just telling him, when you throw a curveball, snap your wrist.
Right.
And he's walking to first and he's fine. And now you got this joke of a batting coach or hitting coach. I think it's Alex Cintron. No.
Yeah.
Is it Alex Cintron?
It might be.
Former White Sox for a year or two or whatever. Yeah. Someone had to remind me he was on the White Sox. So that was like I lost that memory. And he's the one egging him on from first base. He's like, come here, let's go. And then he says something about his mother. And guess what? Lights out. And he went out there, and his players, the players from the Astros, protected the coach, and he didn't even get touched. And then he was far back from the fight. Yeah, you started a fight.
Yeah, that's what a baseball fight is. How many times?
90% of the time, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Unless you're Robin Ventura and you get your butt kicked by Nolan, right?
Yeah, where you like literally crying blood because this old man gave you an old man butt whooping. Yeah, that's how Nolan Ryan was like, I'm from Texas, and he beat him like
he got a Texas whooping.
Right. So I mean, this I'll tell you, one of my least favorite baseball fights of all time, which was basically like seeing two giraffes try to take swings at each other. Do you remember this? It was Derek Lee versus Chris Young.
I don't remember this one.
So Chris Young. So it's two Chris Youngs in the league. Okay, you had the outfielder who played for the Diamondbacks, and you had the pitcher who played for the Padres, who I believe is like a union rep or something. He has a big role for the players in the MLB right now. Okay. But we're talking about two guys that are like 6'6", so they come out and it literally looks like marionettes because they're so big. It's like, they're all, and they're taking swings and they can lean back so far. It literally looked like slow motion because it takes so long to get that long arm. And I'm like, this is a baseball fight. It just literally looked like two giraffes trying to learn how to walk while they're trying to fight each other. And it didn't result in nothing.
How about the Bryce Harper one when he charges the mound and he tries to throw his helmet and it flies over to first base? No. And he's like right in front of him.
Bro, the best ever, Kyle Farnsworth. You remember Kyle Farnsworth?
I remember him playing for the Cubs. And
Kyle Farnsworth charged the mound, and it was like Sean Casey from the Reds.
Okay.
And he beat him down. I mean, and Farnsworth was nuts. Like, he was nuts anyway. But I remember watching Sean Casey at the mound, just at the plate. You are the batter. You have a stick in your hand, and you got bloodied. I mean, if you're on the Cincinnati Reds and you already have a red uniform. How am I seeing blood? How am I seeing more blood? Like, it was insane. That was that. Besides Ventura, I was like, that was. So I mean, look, very rarely do baseball fights come out that good.
Yeah,
You know, this is not hockey.
I think this is the week of the anniversry of the Ventura whooping too.
I saw that. I saw that. I didn't want to bring it up.
It's
but
okay.
If you did, I will.
It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me one bit. He got his butt whooped and he deserved it.
But yeah, I mean, look, this is to be expected. Like I said, I was wondering if there was going to be people that kind of forgot about what happened with the Astros, but they don't look like it.
No. That cheating scandal is going to haunt them. I think all of next season as well. If we have fans back, I think they're going to get heckled out of the building anywhere they go, especially these teams like the Dodgers or anybody in the division. What else you got for baseball?
So I got some more silliness. We know the Marlins were all COVIDed up, right?
But they're good and they're playing now. They're playing really good.
They're good now. Yeah. But who got it now?
The COVID cards?
Yeah, the COVID cards. The COVID cards. Okay. How many series have we canceled? We canceled the Cubs. They didn't play. I think the
Brewers.
They were supposed to play the
Brewers. The Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh too.
Yeah. So it was the Cubs. It was the Cubs' only trip to St. Louis this year. So that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Perfect. I don't want them over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to play the White Sox.
Yeah, this weekend.
And
they already postponed Friday's game. So possibly going to cancel.
Well, they postponed Friday's game.
Yeah. And
they said that they were supposed to do a doubleheader on Saturday. But here's the thing. Do you think anyone on the White Sox wants to stand at first base with anyone on the Cardinals?
No.
Because I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like I said, I said it before. I said I hope these other leagues, I hope football, NFL,
takes note.
Is paying attention to what's going on right here. Okay?
They're going to need that bubble.
To be fair, football is basically covered from head to toe.
Yeah.
For the most part, you know what I mean? They can put a mask on to cover their face, whatever. Baseball does not do that. They should be wearing masks at first base. A lot of these guys do, some don't, whatever. You have some guys that are taking it serious, some guys that are not. But you got a couple of guys on the Indians, okay, who thought it was no big deal. You know, one older man, one very young man named Zach Plesac, whose uncle is very famous.
Yes, he
played for the Cubs
and the Sox.
For like a cup of coffee, right? He wasn't there for long, was he?
About a season or two.
Okay, and he's on MLB Network, and we all know him. And he's a sack man, Dan Plesac. Okay, so his nephew had a great game against the White Sox.
Yes, he did.
For the Indians, pitching for the Indians. So he decides to go and have a night out in the town.
Yep, he goes up and down Michigan Avenue.
Up and down Michigan Avenue. Was he looking to start looting stuff? What is he doing out there? What are you doing, man? Go home.
We do not condone looting.
So they found out. Indians found out. Their compliance officer found out because when he came back to the hotel, he got caught. So what'd they do?
They sent his butt home and said, hey, you know what? Go rent a car and drive your butt back to Cleveland, and now you're going to be quarantined.
They made him rent a car and sent him to his room to go home, young man.
Yes.
No dinner. Get. But what are you doing? What are you doing?
You're putting the rest of your team at risk.
You're putting the rest of your team at risk. You're putting the rest of your season at risk. You're putting
the league.
And Carlos Carrasco this year or last year
yes,
was out of the league, out of baseball because he had leukemia. He's one of their best players.
Right.
Okay, he had leukemia. Okay, now we know that the Cubs are probably, as of right now, they're the only team in baseball that has not had a positive COVID test. And you have two cancer survivors who are integral parts of the team, with Anthony Rizzo and John Lester. Okay, you would think that a young pitcher, whose uncle has been in the league for a long time and is still a big part of baseball, okay, and who is teammates with another pitcher who's just coming back from leukemia.
Right, which makes them very susceptible to any disease.
Anything.
Yeah, their immune system's weakened.
Right, absolutely. You would think that, I don't know, maybe I'll be more cautious. I'll be smart about it. Nah, this is silly. This is silly. I mean, we're getting to the point where we see in hockey, where you have the two bubbles. I think you have Toronto and you have Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
0 cases.
Right. NBA.
0 cases.
NBA, where they're pretty much naked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're wearing shorts and a t-shirt and
Right.
a tank top. I mean, they're pretty naked and they're swaying at each other. 0 cases.
0. Okay. What is so hard about this? What's so hard about this?
But then again, like, I get it. He's young. He wants to do this, and he doesn't respect that. But at the same time, who is accountable for knowing where all the players are? Like you said,
there's a compliance officer.
So how do you? I mean, you gotta treat it like you're in first grade. You take roll at the beginning of the morning when you get them on the bus to go to the park. Okay, we have all 30 players here. Mm-hmm. We have all our coaches. We did roll call. Finish your game. Do roll call again. Make sure that's going on. You get to the hotel. Okay, do roll call again. Now, is somebody capable of slipping out through the back door? Yeah.
Of course.
Did that happen? We don't know. But at the same time, like you said, you're putting your teammates, your opponents, the league, possibly your family at risk. I mean, it's just not worth it. It's irresponsible. Irresponsible.
It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible for a young man. It's irresponsible for an old man. He wasn't the only one that got caught. I'm over here trying to find out. Look, hey now. I just went to the Indians website to look at their roster.
Yeah.
Police Act's not on there. And the other, who was the other pitcher that Mike Clevenger. Mike Clevenger. That's the name I'm looking for that I couldn't even find on their active roster website. Because he's inactive.
Yes.
Because they found out that Clevenger went out with Police Act that same night. He went out with him.
Yep.
He says, "Hey, buddy, let's go." I'm like, "No, what are you doing?"
It's like, you know the town.
And you
show us.
I mean, he's a young guy too, but you're a vet. Mm-hmm. You're a vet enough to know better. And he got on the team charter, and he went home with them. And when they found out that he was a part of it too, they sent him home too. And that's why on this website right here, he's not a part of the active roster.
And shouldn't be.
And he shouldn't be. And you know who is? Carlos Carrasco. Okay. He's a young guy. He's a guy that I think the Cubs should go after.
We'll take him too.
I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about the White Sox, okay? The White Sox got enough young talent, okay?
No, man, we can always stack up some more, man.
We watched that Last Dance documentary. This is the Last Dance for our Cubs right now. Or my Cubs. My Cubs.
I mean, I like the Cubs. I just don't like certain Cub fans.
Am I one of them?
No, you're good.
Okay,
you know baseball.
All right. Oh man.
All right, what else do we got?
So
I put playoff bubble there.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about playoff bubble, I don't know why my headphones are echoing now, but the playoff bubble should be similar to what hockey does.
I'm not against that whatsoever.
You have a New York hub.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Chicago hub, and then a West Coast hub.
We talked about it before. If we're gonna do West, Central, and East, doing a bubble again. But I mean,
especially for the playoffs, that's MLB. That's your moneymaker.
Yes.
That's your advertising. That's product placement. I mean,
that's your cardboard cutouts in the stands.
Yeah.
You know, you can put whoever you want out there. I'm pretty sure the Dodgers have Tommy Lasorda out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw that. I'm still disappointed the Cubs didn't do it, though. I thought it would have been really funny. But
you got no money?
No, but let me tell you something, though.
You got no money. You didn't do it.
No, well, I mean, it's a piece of cardboard. But let me tell you what, though. We talked about this, though, because you said that you wanted to put Steve Bartman out there.
And somebody did.
I think it was the Mariners.
Seattle did.
The Mariners, for what?
That makes no sense.
Nobody's paying attention to you, Seattle. Nobody's been paying attention to you since Ken Griffey was out there. Maybe King Felix.
He was a buck. He was a buck. He's still a young buck at that point.
Look, man, I don't want to hear nothing else about Bartman. Okay, they gave that man a ring. Okay, I don't get why you would bring him in. Why was he there at all? Why did they bring him? What was the point of that?
I don't know. Was there somebody from the Marlins there?
Yeah, but the Marlins won the series.
I know. I don't know. I don't know the meaning. I mean, I thought it was funny, but
No, it was not. Thank you. It was not funny at all. I disagree. Okay, we're not going to agree on this one.
all right, all right. All right, what else have we got? Yeah, the playoff bubble, and what else you got, Eddie? I don't got anything else.
I mean, I think that's it. I mean, we covered a lot of stuff. I think really what it is we need these young kids to figure it out. Okay, stop acting like you're Superman. We've been there. We know what it is.
Talking about my boy Eloy?
No, I said Superman,
Oh.
not Spider-Man.
My bad.
Spider-Man. Okay. Yeah, man. Look, look. I swear to God, I really want like another team come out with a jersey that says like Doctor Octopus or something like that, because that would be fantastic. That would be my favorite moment of the series of the season. Even if the Cubs won the World Series, I would still love that. Okay. Like I said earlier, I mean, I never thought I'd see a worse fielder than Soriano or Schwarber in his infancy of being in the outfield than I'd seen Eloy out there. And he said he wants to be a good fielder.
He needs to go talk to his partner in center field.
I mean, I don't know what he's doing. He's strong, but how? Think of it this way: he's very strong. He can swing a bat. How athletic is he? Because you see, remember like Jim Edmonds? He just looked like an old man. He looked like the old rec league dude that plays basketball on like Thursday nights with the rest of the like 47-year-olds. But he was athletic as hell. He could slide under a ball and catch anything. On the Angels, on the Cardinals. He was on the Cubs for a little while. But he looked like nothing. He just looked like this like scummy old dude from the time he was like, 17.
Yeah.
Like super hairy arms, thinning hair forever. Like 5 o'clock shadow right after he shaves. He just looks like an old man. But Eloy can hit it a ton. I just don't know how actually athletic he is.
Yeah, he definitely needs a lot of work in the outfield, so they're gonna have to work with him. The problem is there's no off days.
Yeah, it's something he's gonna have to work on in the outfield in the off season. Otherwise, he's just gonna be straight up at DH, and if that's what he's gonna be, that's fine.
He's too young to be a DH.
Look, if you got a guy who's gonna fill a slot and hit home runs, hit the home run. Okay?
Yeah.
Stay away from the net. Stay away from Spider-Man, Spider-Pig, all the other spiders, bro. Charlotte's Web. Get away from all of that mess. No more nets. Stay away from any net, basketball net. I don't care. Fisher's net. You're going to get caught, bro. You're going to get stuck. And it's going to be funny, but unnecessary.
I mean, thank God the net was there. I mean,
New Jersey net or Brooklyn nets. Don't even go to a game. Stay away from Jay-Z. Okay? No.
Stay
Just
away
go.
from Oh man! I can't wait till the Cubbies make a mistake this week.
Yeah, look, this is too funny. This is just too funny.
No, it's funny. It's really funny.
I'm
just disappointed that he's gonna risk his body for a foul ball.
Look, man. Hey, Bartman did it. Bartman risked his whole life for that foul ball. He didn't know he was doing it, but he did it.
Yeah, I don't blame the guy.
Yeah, I mean,
he still had the rest of the game and another game after that to take care of business.
Whatever. Whatever, man. They won. They got theirs.
Yeah, don't worry. I was cheering for the Cubs that year.
Oh, the one time.
2 times.
Oh, 2 times.
I was excited for 2016.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. That was the one time. The one when they actually won.
Oh, come on. I was actually cheering for the Cubs, man. They had a good team.
All right, man.
Let's
You got
wrap
anything
this up.
else for us?
Nah, man. Let's wrap this up. Let's
All
go
right.
home. Bring it home, brother.
All right, y'all. For Big Z, this is E-Roc. And until next time, take care of each other for the love of sports.